Hello, I'm Jada, and if you are one of the few thousand people who viewed my No So Sally cardigan tutorial, welcome back. And for everybody else, welcome. Some of you may know me if you came straight from on any of my other socials. I'm Jada. I'm the owner of Mrs. Moon and Heaven. I am a crochet artist and designer. You can check out a lot of our patterns on our site. A lot of them are for sale and a lot of them are being tested. I also have some finished products up there. Not too many because I'm more of a pattern designer and pattern writer. But yeah, that's my intro. I'm a Gemini. Okay, all right, before we get into it, let's do a little small business shout out. Earrings are by KGF Jewelry. Please go buy some because they're so nice. I have a nice earring collection, so those are earrings of the day. Anyway, so today I'm going to be doing one of my projects from my WIP collection. I'm not gonna lie, I did start recording this yesterday and then I stopped as soon as I set everything up. Why? Because there's some gears in my brain that don't work as intended to. Or they work as intended to, but maybe a little differently. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna insert that footage here. You can pretend that I'm doing that right now. Oh, gotta go to the attic. BRB. Insert Scooby-Doo running noise. Alright, so a bit of a change in the mic situation because I don't want to bring the big mic with me. We are in the attic / craft room closet. This is my craft space. It was going to be the extended closet before my partner just let me have the whole thing to myself. Blessed, grateful, fantastic, amazing, appreciative. Anyway, so we already have some of the stuff done. And by some, I mean we have 4 squares, which are sewed together and the ends are weaved in. So can I get a round of applause for that? Thank you. And then we also have this granny square. So let's get some of the stuff that we need. This is a scrap granny square project. So I'm just using a bunch of chunky yarn that I have, and ultimately I was using this gray because I accidentally got a lot of this gray instead of black, so I needed to do something with it. So I do have this whole bag full of chunky yarn, which I'm using. So I guess I'll just take this down. I've actually, since I started this months ago, was it months ago? I think it was months ago at this point. I think it was May. I think I started this in May. As of right now, it is July 18th. As of right now, it is July 18th, 2022. Around late May, early June, I believe, I started using all my extra Target bags, because we have a lot of Target reusable bags, to store each one of my projects so I could just grab and go. But here we have this very noisy paper bag full of chunky yarn. So we're going to grab this and go downstairs. What is this? Oh, I just frogged something. Ooh. Gray yarn. Okay, let's go downstairs now. Okay, and we're back. So I have my yarn here. I'm trying to go through my WIP collection and finish things one by one, but I'm really inspired now. As you can see in my background, we have a video going. Ever heard of TL Yarn Crafts? Well, if you heard of me, you should know about Tony. So Tony is inspiring me to actually do my granny square projects. If you know anything about me, you may know that I have a love-hate relationship with granny square projects. I love them. I love how they look. I love the projects. I hate making them. So that's where my love-hate relationship lies. But I am like so determined to make one for myself. Because right now I can't afford to buy any. It's not on my budget. However, the thing is that I will. I will very likely buy a granny square project because I don't want to make it for myself.
I would do literally anything to own an air fryer except buy one.
Beverage of the day. My iced coffee's right there. Here's a seltzer. I've covered it with a cozy because unless you're paying me, you're not getting your big brand on my channel. But if any seltzer water would like to Pay me, please, because it's all I drink. Seltzer water and coffee. When I wake up, though, I'm not crazy. When I wake up, I have regular water. Bungee Mini, you can get the coffee cozy pattern on our site. This coffee cozy is way too big for my seltzer. However, I can't find my designated seltzer cozy, so you're getting this. Ta-da! Anyway, I have some squares done already. And I have the ends weaved in and everything because I'm trying to make this as easy for myself as possible. So this is going to be for the sleeve because I want the sleeves to be really poofy, so big granny squares. I'm using a chunky yarn to make a chunky granny square because it's the only way, if I'm ever going to actually make a granny square project, the only way I'm going to do it is with chunky yarn. I love the way anything else looks. I can't do it myself. I can do anything I put my mind to. But will I? That's the thing. That's the thing. So this is for the sleeve. And I already have some panels sewn together because, again, I'm trying to make it as easy for myself as possible. However, I'm going to rewatch Tony's videos and review how I can make this easier for myself. This video in particular is their most recent video as of right now, July 2, because who knows how long this is going to take me. But I'm going to try to finish it this week.
She did not indeed finish it that week.
Don't get it twisted. As of right now, it is July 19th. Oh! I didn't make my friend a birthday present, and her birthday's tomorrow. I'm going to see her tomorrow.
I did not gift her until September 20-something.
Oh, God. Anyway, last year I made her a Melanie top, which is named after her. This year, I don't know what I'm going to do. Should I stay up all night and make one? I think I will.
I did not do this.
Anyway, okay, so I'm going to review how to do this because this video is color changing.
I'll now make the remainder of my corner by placing 2 more double crochet.
So it's color changing and getting rid of all the ends that you have to sew in besides, I think, like the first and the last, which is crazy. It's called Granny Square Color Changes the Easy Way plus 5 Pro Designer Tips for the Perfect Granny Squares by TL Yarn Crafts. There's this one and Easy Sewing Together. So that's what we're going to do. So maybe if I don't feel lazy, I'll insert a sketch right here. And if not, I'm going to insert an emoji like this because I just didn't get to doing it because I'm trying to imagine in my head.
Editing me here, this is the part that I procrastinated the longest. I'm not gonna spoil it for you and tell you how long it took. You will have to wait till the end of the video for me to reveal my shame. But this is the basic diagram. I did 4 squares for the front and back, but you can do any amount of squares for the front and back. But I just did 2 just so it wasn't cluttered. Like I said, I did 4 rows of squares. Maybe I'll even show you one where I do less than 4 rows of squares for the front and back panel. Guess you'll just have to see at the end of this video.
This is the thought process is this. If I'm going to do a granny square project, I might as well go big on it. So I'm going to make it an oversized thing because I kind of want it to be like perfect, because there's a lot of holes in this, right? I want this to be perfect for a summer granny square sweater. You know, at night when it gets a little cold, you need some air that goes through your granny square, but it's still like keeping you a little warm. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm gonna do, this is gonna start at my shoulders. We're gonna do 4 down. So 4 down, 3 across, 2 granny squares on the shoulders, and 4 in the back as well. And then the sleeves are going to be 2 of these guys, 2 by 4. No. 2 by 2. 2 by 2. Okay. So let's get it started. We're also making this with a bunch of scrap yarn. I don't know if I said that in the video I went upstairs. The base is this gray because I have a lot of it because I accidentally bought this instead of black. And then everything else is all the extra skeins of yarn that I got for other projects. So these are almost all Hobby. Love you, Hobby. Hobby Amigo Chunky and Hobby Amigo Giga, which suggests a 9mm hook. And Amigo Chunky calls for a 7mm hook, but I always use 8. I have a loose gauge as well. So I have some Loops and Threads Charisma. This one is a little more, what's the word for this? Do you see what I'm talking about? It's a little more of this. Whereas Amigo Chunky has some of that. It does pill, but it's made for everyday use. I've one of my Luna cardigans, my original one, I wear that one like all the time. Not all the time, but pretty often, and it's pretty good. It like pills a little bit, but I'm able to like clean it up. So I might stray away from using this one just as much because I kind of want the whole thing to be the same, so that way I'm not worried about like certain spots in the in my sweater like fraying or whatever it is. Anyway, let's get to it. I'm gonna switch you up to the overhead cam. I'm gonna do a two shot overhead cam, and I'm gonna have my phone facing on me. Not as great of a quality, but you get the gist, right? Okay, BRB. All right, so I think we'll start with white. Again, we have this, and we're gonna use an 8mm hook.
So I'm not going to do an in-depth tutorial, as you obviously know from the start of this video. I do watch a very detailed video from Tony on how to do these granny squares, so you can check out that video if you would like. I'm just showing you how I do it. So I'm starting off with a magic circle and starting off the granny square as usual. I did want to mention though that some granny squares go between doing a chain 1 in between the clusters or not doing a chain 1. In this, I decided to not do a chain 1 in between each clusters, as I'm showing you right here. But later on, I also did granny squares where I didn't do a chain 1 between the clusters. It depends on what you want.
But I guess I don't want this as tight anyway because I want it to be like an airy, summery granny square. So starting with a magic knot, maybe you guys know how to granny square, right? But we're going to do a magic circle, chain 3, 2 more double crochets, chain 2 for the corner, 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, 3 double crochet cluster, chain 2, last chain 3, DC 3 DC cluster, and chain 2, tighten up this bad boy, and slip stitch.
And right here, I'm going to chain 1 and fasten off because I'm going to change to the next color, which is going to be this purple color. And I'm going to start off with a slip knot because I'm going to do a standing single crochet. You can also do, what I learned I like to do is I like to do a standing single crochet into a stacked single crochet for the first stitch because I don't like how chain 2s look in granny squares. And I'm also going to turn my work in between. And so I'm doing that standing double crochet, and I'm just doing that by yarning over, inserting the hook into the corner and doing a double crochet. And I'm going to finish the corner by placing 2 more double crochets, which makes the 3 cluster, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets for the last cluster. I'm chaining 1 in between and going to do the corners on all 4 corners by doing a double crochet cluster, chain 2, double crochet cluster. And I'm going to go over that tail end. You can go over it the entire way. I honestly like to do it over one corner and then I weave in the rest later because I don't like it sticking. Like, it kind of sticks out when you carry it all the way. So I do it over this corner and then I weave it in. I don't think I do that in this video, but this is just me telling you from experience that I like to do it over one corner and then weave it in. Because it kind of like sticks out in the front. Because it's hard to explain. It just does, okay? Anyway, finish those corners in between each one. I'm like pulling out hairs. And you're chaining 1 between each cluster in the corners, okay? Chain 1 between each cluster. And chain 2 for each corner. Anyway, yeah, just do that the entire square. That's your second round. And it's the same. And then it gets easy the rest of the granny squares. If you don't know how to do the granny squares, you just do the same thing over and over until the granny square is as big as you want it to be. And when you're done with that, slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet or stack single crochet or chain 2, whichever you decide to do, and fasten off once again because you're going to switch to your next color.
Right. I don't know if I like the back of the post though. I like the way the front of the posts look. I guess it's fine. Let's go back to white.
Alright, so the basis of grinding squares is that in every corner you do a 3DC cluster, chain 2 3DC cluster, and in between each cluster that isn't a corner, you just put a regular 3DC cluster and chain 1 in between each space. And you're just going to do that until your grinding square is the size that you desire.
And then I'm going to crochet over the ends of these tails. Maybe I should make my tails longer. Oh no. God, why am I so bad at making granny squares? I'm literally depriving myself of taking a sip of my seltzer even though I have a tickle in my throat because I'm like, must finish this square before I can be rewarded. Yeah. Alright, I'm on the last layer. I'm going to look up the video on how to join as I go, so that way I don't make a mistake. Alright, so now I'm going to take the gray for the last round. I hope this is right. I hope I didn't mess up by already stitching some together.
So the last round is going to be the join as you go round. So that's going to be the base color. All of these last rounds will be done while joining on and should all be in the same color.
Oh, I wonder where my back hurts all the time. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't turn my work. It's fine. Okay, wait. I think you do 3.
Yarn over, and I'm pulling through the joining square and through the loop on my hook for a slip stitch. And now they're joined.
Oh wait. Oh, because it's 2. Okay. So because I slip stitched 1 in here, the other slip stitch has to go in here, which is the chain 2. Oh my god, I love having a big brain.
To the next
Oh my god, thank you, Tony, because this if this is working for me, I think my life is changed. I think my life is changed. I'm gonna start making crochet granny square stuff. Although these are gonna look different than this one because I stitched this one on. Back loop only, so that's a shame, but whatever. What the? Do you see what I did here? What is this? I did what? Oh my god. Okay, if anybody's confused, it's supposed to be 3 clusters, chain 2, 3 clusters, and I did 1. Wow. Alright, I guess we're just gonna have to pretend that doesn't exist. Because what is wrong with me? That's weird. Nice, look at that. Oh, wow. Okay, it's definitely not perfect, but whatever. By my standards, it is. Okay, so there's even more space between them, but that's fine, honestly. Alright, maybe this will just be the back since this is different than this. It's not too much of a noticeable difference, eh? That's pretty neat. Okay, we are getting somewhere, baby. This is awesome. All right, and I'm gonna cut this here, and I'm gonna do a seamless join, if you will. Okay, so there's 3 ends to weave in. So you go in through the top and back around through here. And I'm gonna tie a knot because I want it secure, which you don't have to do, I don't think. And I'm gonna weave in my ends as I go because I'm responsible
And I'm looking out for future me, you know? See, I always make this one too loose. What if I did this? What if I improvised and made it tighter? I like the invisible join method, but I always make it too loose. I don't know what is up with that. Cut these off because I weaved these in as I went.
Oh, okay, wait. I don't know if I have enough tail for this now. I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Never say never. Oh. Okay, I do not. We shall try again next time. Alright, cool. That was really quite painless. Absolutely. So, I'm going to continue doing this for a little bit now, off camera. That's awesome. I'm going to continue the panel down. Yeah, I'll continue the panel down and then I'll join up this way and then do the back side. So let's see if I can do that all. Okay, why am I so bad at counting? I did a 2 cluster instead of a 3 cluster. No, I'm not going back and fixing this. I truly am not, but like, what's wrong with me? This is what happens when I'm like chatting and crocheting at the same time. Okay, so it's a couple days later, and I wanted to show what I did on my first day. Look at that! I am so proud of myself that I'm actually doing it. This is crazy. This is probably the furthest I've ever... I think this is the furthest I've ever gotten a Granny Square project in the 1.5 years I've been crocheting. A little over a 1.5 years, but you get what I'm saying. And since then, I have also created a pile of squares. So presenting to you for the first time in months, a pile of squares to be sewn together. I would always see square things and I'm like, those are so beautiful, but like joining it together sounds like the worst possible thing that anybody could do. Now I don't think so. Isn't it crazy how our brains just get bigger and less afraid of things? So all I have to do is add the gray border to each one of these, and I'm going to do that as I go. To join to the sweater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10. I have 10 over here. And like I just wanted to go and then so I could plan it more. But I still have some leftover squares to fill in. So I'll just figure that out as I go for the last ones. I'm kind of upset that I do have like some of these squares I wish that I didn't do. Like these two. But it's fine. That's okay. This is 9 squares. I need 12 in the front, 12 in the back, 2 on the shoulders, not including the sleeves. So after this, I'll have, what is that, 24, 26. So I need 26 squares, and right now I have 19. So we're getting there, but I'm enjoying myself. Okay, so I'm gonna go put these together now. So this is what I'm thinking for the next row. We're gonna slowly convert to more colorful as we go up, since, you know, these kind of take away from it. And even this one with an extra row of gray, that's fine. And then on top of there, I'm gonna do the 2 shoulder ones. So it's the Monday of the next week, and this is the progress since. Also, I'm too lazy to get my camera out, so different quality. Oh wait, the thing is at first glance I can't check if it's inside out or not because all the ends are weaved in. Haha. Anyway, look at it. It's just one big sweater blanket. It's so beautiful. And I haven't been timing myself. This looks amazing. It looks so good on camera. I haven't been timing myself because I don't feel like it. I should have though. Because sometimes I haven't been timing myself for a little bit just to take away a little bit of stress. Not that it always stresses me out, but sometimes it does. But now I wish that I did. Sometimes it makes me feel better because it feels like I'm crocheting for longer than I am. And then when I actually time it, it's like not that long. But recently I haven't been doing it, but I should have done it for this because now I'm just curious. Because I feel like this is taking a bit of a while, but maybe not as much as I think. So maybe the next Granny Square thing, I'll time it. I can't get over how this looks on the camera. It looks amazing. Okay, I'll put it on. So I joined at the bottom as I went, but I forgot to join these two. So I'm gonna have to manually sew that. And I was planning on leaving this part open for the sleeve because I have no clue how big the sleeve's gonna be. This is the length of one of the squares, so it's like one more row than all these squares. So I don't know how thick. It's gonna be big. I can't tell, but it's looking amazing. I didn't finish it. My goal was to try to finish this last week, and I didn't, but that's okay.
All right, so it is 2:58, but I'm like Beauty and the Beast when she goes into the woods, so you could see. The lighting's not great at night, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna not make this, you know, in the middle of the night. So right now I'm gonna decrease around the neckline and do that. And I'm gonna like decrease just a little bit on the sleeves, but I love the sleeves. I just wanted to like decrease just a little bit to be in on the insides, just a tiny bit. Like I'll probably decrease every third stitch or something like that. And then that's the only decrease row. This one I'm gonna decrease like, I don't know, maybe like every 8th stitch or something. And then if I need to decrease more the next round, I will.
Okay, so it is the next morning. I did stop. I almost finished the collar, but I stopped because I increased too much. But really what I did around the collar was I used, I went to sleep and literally 10 minutes later, my partner's alarm went off. I sometimes, like if I'm staying up too late, I make my bedtime latest 3:30 because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be caught out here awake while he's waking up for work. And I know he wakes up absurdly early, but still. So I'm not gonna let it happen. I don't want it to happen. So I had enough yarn, thankfully, to go over the sleeves, not with one row, but two. Isn't that crazy? So I did a single crochet row where I decreased every 5th stitch. Because I don't want it to go in too much. I like the wide sleeve. And then I went over with one more row, just regular single crochet. And then I actually first did use the yarn for the collar first because that was more important for me to have that be outlined in gray first before I did the pink collar. So I did a few decrease rows. I did 2 rows with the gray, where I think the first row I didn't decrease except for at the corner, so I could just bring them in so it would be more circular. And then the next one I decreased like every 5 stitches, and the next one every 4, and now I'm just doing a regular row because I decreased too much and then it was too hard to get over my head. So now I'm just doing a couple of regular rows until it looks good. So I've been like trying it on after every row, but I definitely just want to finish because I'm so close, but I do need to do something else. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to go over my head easily. Oh, yes. Okay, I think one more row. One more row of pink, I think. Actually, 2 more rows. I think 2 more rows of pink, I think. And also, I have one more sleeve of a lot of ends to weave in because I wasn't good about that. But I'm not going to let the fact that I will be done with this... I will not be letting that fact get in the way of weaving in my ends, because I'm the type of person who, I know a lot of us are, that we won't weave in our ends, and then at the end we're like, okay, well, we can wear it, so what's the point? And it's like a psychological thing. I know it. That's why I've been doing it as I go. Once I figured out, like, oh, they really did mean it and they weren't just playing with me when they said I should do it as I go. I've been doing it because I know I won't do it at the end. But it looks and feels so much better when you don't have the ends. The ends make me mad. So I will be finishing the ends. I would not have gone... Oh, wait, I think one more... Oh, I think this is good. I will not have done all this work and weaved in all these ends just for one sleeve to have ends. I can do it, but I'll do that tomorrow. All right, so the collar is absolutely perfect. I think I do need to add a pink border to the sleeves, although they are already long. I think that I have to, and I think that I'm gonna decrease just a little bit more, but I don't think I'll do that right now because I do have to do other things. Oh wait, I need to put a border at the bottom, so I guess that'll also be in pink. Oh shit, I did not think about that. It's okay, I could have a long pink bottom, right? It won't take away from it, right? Should I decrease at all at the bottom? Okay. Oh, jump scare. Remember how I said, oh, glare. Remember how I said that I had filmed the video in July and then I put a little thing that said it was November? Well, guess what? It's now February of 2023. I finished this in August, by the way. I finished this sweater in August. And I was 90% done with the video in November. But it was the filming the very last part and making the diagram that really set me back some time, obviously. But it was enough time to make a pattern, a written pattern guide for it in full detail. I'll talk about that later. For now, let me show you my house. Look at all the new decorations up. And also this sweater. Hold on, let's adjust. So here's the finished sweater. I've worn it so many times, had so many compliments in it, because this sweater freaking rocks. I call it the Lily Granny Square video, named after my own granny who loves this sweater. So I ended up putting the border. You can see the sleeves are very, very long indeed. This is also post block. I did block this. So it's very nice in the way that it falls, but the sleeves are very long. So I usually because I did decrease in the sleeves, I am able to cuff it like this, and this is usually how I wear it. Would I change it the next time around? Yes, and guess what? I did. I'm gonna show you the other piece after this though. First, look at it in all its glory. Dun, 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 dun. It is quite actually like wearing a blanket at all times. This is one of those sweaters that everybody compliments. Like even guys who like don't take a second look at the things I've crocheted, they look at this and they're like, holy crap, that's a sick sweater. True story, that did happen with my partner's friend, so take that. Anyway, yeah, it's truly a work of art. Great scrap project. Now let me show you the other one that I've made. Hold on. It's cropped. Honestly, I did this one. This is crazy. In 48 hours. I don't know what the total number of hours in making this was, but I finished this in 24 hours. Like I started it on Saturday night, like just like a few squares here and there. And then on Sunday was when I was compiling it together, and then I finished it on Monday night, I think, something like that. And also I made it so that this one is, I mean, they're both technically reversible, but the other one is like, I don't like the back as much because it was scrap. This one, I just had so much yarn lying around. So it's reversible. And the sleeves are actually normal. I did one less row in this pattern, like in the granny squares. So it's not as wide, but it's more functional. However, okay, this is where I'm doing my little bit of self-promo here, because I do have a full written guide on how to make this. Some people may see the pattern of being a little more on the pricier side, and I'm gonna explain why. One, it's like 20 pages. Like it is so in-depth. There are so many photos, like very detailed photos on how to make this and how to make like literally any size, any way you want it, that's the way you like it.
Also, I'd like to reiterate that this pattern is completely no-sew. Also, I would like to add that the act of making you fall in love with granny squares / extinguishing your fears for them is priceless.
I also did one where you could do the sleeves just as wide, but the sleeves don't end up as long. Also, I think that we should charge more for patterns. I'm just saying, there's so much work that goes into it. I'm just saying that I think that the prices of patterns are sometimes too low, and I think that if they especially are in so much detail, which I bought so many patterns for like $8, I'm like, this should have been $10 because there's so much detail. I'm just saying, that's a little bit of a tangent. Also, I live in New York. Mama's gotta pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to support me, go buy that pattern and make one of these. The possibilities are endless. Scrap projects for this are perfect. I just had a lot of extra ecru yarn lying around due to some mistakes that were made from both me and whoever took my yarn packages, I think. Anyway, yeah. I hope that y'all like this process video, and I hope that y'all make one for yourself. Please check out the pattern if you are interested in making this for yourself. It really does help support me and my endeavors, especially in those months that you don't see me on YouTube. I'm trying my best. It's really such a good pattern. It's really a great pattern. And I have so many other patterns if you want to check it out. This is such a great sweater. This one's great for wearing out. This also, I just want to say that this fits anyone from, well, this particular size, I think fits anyone from extra small to like a large, extra large, honestly. But I do have options in there, so you can make it any size that you want. So that is as oversized as you want or as fitted as you want. So take that. I'm an innovator. Ooh. Yeah, my fear of granny squares has depleted since first starting out this sweater, which is amazing. I mean, I've made two granny square projects since the start of this video, because it's one video that's just taken so long for me to make. Anyway, yeah, please go check out my other video. I will post when I post, so make sure to turn on that notification bell so you know when I post, because I don't even know when I post. And check out all my other socials, check out my website, check out my patterns, check out everything, and leave, if you made it this far, leave a comment saying nice pink hair, because guess what? Everybody else who is watching the first part of the video won't understand, because it should have been done while my hair was still brown, and this is like 3 colors later. Thanks for watching.
Guess what? We also have a Patreon if you want to support us. If you have the means to, you could do it for as little as $1 to $3 as like a little bit of a tip jar. You know, it really does help out if you do the 3. Actually, if you do any of the tiers, you get early access to our YouTube videos. And for the $5 tier and up, you also get a special podcast. You get a little bit of a podcast if you like to hear me talk. I sometimes do little blog posties in there. That's a new thing that I've started to do when I'm working on. You could see that. You could see that for $3 and up, you know. Also, if you do the $10 tier, you do get a pattern every month. And guess what this month's pattern is? That's right, this sweater. And it's actually more than that tier. So I'm just saying, just check out all the stuff if you want to support us, if you have the means to. It helps. It does help a girly out. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.